Hey, everyone. Welcome to Beyond the Gates Official. I'm Alessio, and I'm so excited to have you here. If you love Beyond the Gates, then you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Alright, let's dive right in. Vanessa met Joey at Uptown in Beyond the Gates, where he planned to show her something that would take her breath away. Here, in public, Vanessa snickered. Joey handed her an envelope containing cash to be placed to our usual account. Vanessa pondered what took her so long to become involved in money laundering. Joey could tell that the risk still terrified her a little. The realtor told the kingpin that her accountant had become suspicious, but that she had kept to their narrative. Vanessa grinned. Almost as good as sex. Mrs. McBride said that Joey decided to keep her unaware of many elements of his company, but she encouraged him to recognize that she made a pretty good criminal. Joey wanted to make sure Doug wouldn't disturb them, and he hinted that Doug might have installed a tracking device on Vanessa. She remembered Joey bugging Doug, but Joey got a flashback to Doug sneaking in on him and Vanessa in a passionate embrace, without Vanessa seeing. Vanessa didn't want to talk about Doug anymore, but Joey came out and asked her to move in with him. No, was her first response. Vanessa stated that she had a life with Doug, and that he was the father of her children. They had been each other's firsts. When Joey saw her lack of the L word, Vanessa argued that she still loved Doug. It was simply that their marriage wasn't the same as it once was. When Vanessa refused to concede that she also loved Joey, he said that thoughts of her were what kept him going throughout the day. Joey sensed Vanessa loved him, which was why she had returned to him after supposedly ending things, and he couldn't comprehend Vanessa's continued relationship with Doug, considering their history. Vanessa stated that the topic of Doug made her lose interest in other issues and that Joey must have a thing for Doug, given how concentrated Joey was on him. She wanted to go so she could find someone else who would appreciate all of her fabulousness, but Joey roughly grabbed her arm, eager to continue the chat. Vanessa informed Joey that he couldn't simply turn off a relationship they'd had since high school like a faucet. She felt at ease with Doug, who knew everything about her, whereas Joey only knew a handful. Joey listened as Vanessa admitted that she'd long realized she needed sex more than Doug did, and he mentioned that her appetite was one of her most appealing features. Vanessa explained that she had been one of Joey's finest customers, but she had never felt tempted to leave Doug for any of the men she had hired. When asked if he could live with Vanessa sleeping next to Doug every night, Joey shifted gears and disclosed that Vanessa's activity with his escort agency had ended about the time the two of them began dating. Vanessa pretended it was because she didn't want Joey to know about her personal life, but Joey extracted the truth from her. Maybe, in the end, I really am a one-man kind of girl. Randy took a booth with Doug in Orphe jeans, concerned that appearing at the restaurant would not keep him off Joey's radar. Doug unhappily informed his friend how he had discovered Vanessa with Joey after she swore not to see him again. The heart surgeon was ready to take Joey down again. Randy suggested Doug rethink, because you like breathing. Doug decided to do something quick and certain, revealing Joey's money laundering plus the fact that Joey had blackmailed Vanessa into assisting him would be enough to drive Joey away. Randy reminded Doug that he would be destroying Vanessa as well. Was this what Doug wanted? Doug argued that he and Vanessa loved each other, which Randy quietly dismissed. I guess some guys can just handle being cucks better than others, Randy replied, knowing he wouldn't be so lenient with his own wife. Doug tried to be tough and wanted to resolve things outside, which Randy dismissed. Mr. McBride claimed he was used to Vanessa's habits, but her affair with Joey was unique since Joey made things personal. Doug stated that Joey had to be removed from the photo. Randy refused to help Doug figure out how to neutralize Joey without also putting Vanessa down, refusing to put himself in Joey's line of fire again. Doug stated that he would carry out a strategy with or without Randy. Haley came downstairs to see Bill had gotten home. She inquired about his talk with Danny. Bill stopped, telling Haley how lovely she was. Haley hoped Bill could assure her that she would not have to think about Danny again. Bill told Haley that he had made it clear to his ex that, while he was delighted they had cooled off and been able to come together during Chelsea's kidnapping situation, they still had separate lives, save for their girls. Trust me, Danny gets it. Bill said, while Haley was confident Danny had figured out how she had sent Bill the message. After delving more into what Danny had said, Haley stopped herself and thanked Bill for doing precisely what she had asked. Bill promised to give Haley a break for her little nagging if she gave him a pass for not paying her enough attention, eliciting an amused groan from her when he mentioned how she had tried to use Tomás to make him jealous. Haley was more than willing to achieve mutual forgiveness because it meant make-up sex. The Hamiltons were interrupted by the doorbell. Haley swore to kill Danny if it was her. However, Doug desired a moment with Bill. Haley purred that she would go get dressed for the prior engagement that Bill had informed Doug about. Then Doug detailed Joey's money laundering operation to Bill, as well as Vanessa's involvement in it. Bill classified the crime as a Class B felony and thought it was a tall order for Doug to want Joey to go to jail while Vanessa remained free. "That's why I came to the best," Doug remarked. Bill recognized Doug had known for a time that Vanessa was assisting Joey in concealing the source of his ill-gotten profits, and when the lawyer learned that Doug was getting a piece, he was perplexed as to why Doug wanted to discontinue the arrangement. "I just do," Doug stated matter-of-factly. Bill also suspected Vanessa had grown intimate with Joey. Doug was sure that Vanessa was putting her life in danger due to her relationship with Armstrong, but Bill saw Doug's wife had not joined him to the request. Doug, wanting to make amends to Vanessa for dragging her into the mess he'd caused, told Bill, who wanted to know if there was any evidence linking her to the illegal activities, or if there was anything they could use to cut a deal for her, that Vanessa kept 2 sets of books, one for the government and one with the true numbers. Bill agreed that law enforcement would find the accounting useful. Doug then added that he had a friend who was hesitant to speak up about how Joey had entrusted him with committing a murder, which piqued Bill's curiosity. When Bill learned that someone other than Doug's acquaintance had committed the murder, which the police had declared an accident, he appeared to be piecing together some details, but did not elaborate. Doug mentioned that he and Bill had known each other for a long time and asked his friend to assist him in taking Joey out of commission while keeping Vanessa free. Once Doug had departed, Bill apologized to Haley for having to cancel their make-up sex because he had something very essential to accomplish before seeing Naomi and Chelsea for dinner. Haley sighed as Bill dashed out. Following that, Bill discovered Joey and Vanessa together in Uptown. Vanessa refused to leave when Bill sought to speak with Joey alone, and Joey casually declared that whatever Bill had to say to him, he could say in front of Vanessa. "No," Bill replied firmly. "I can't." Danny and Andre toasted Ashley and Bill, the ones who had gotten away, noting on how long they'd been sitting there drinking. Danny referred to Bill as a big old ventriloquist dummy, knowing Haley had put the relationship clarifying words in Bill's lips. The former model thought it was selfish for Haley to ruin Bill and Danny's planned family dinner because Haley felt insecure. "And she should be," Danny said. Andre concluded that Haley had reason to be concerned. Danny complained about how Haley had previously interfered with Bill and his girls, something Danny would no longer tolerate. After Andre pointed out that Danny and Bill would always be linked by their children, he grieved that he would never have that relationship. Danny was astonished to hear Andre admit he'd never considered having children, especially after seeing what he got out of delivering the baby with Ashley in the hospital elevator. Andre believed that lingering on that was as pointless as Danny dwelling on Bill. "Love the one you're with," the two agreed. "And then love somebody else." Danny wanted Andre to be her player instructor, but she reconsidered after realizing he had been in town for months. When Danny mentioned that she used to be like Andre, he realized it was probably why they got along so well and offered his first rule: don't care about anything, since it kept one free. After dubbing her next drink the bill because it was intoxicating, but definitely bad for me, Danny chastised Andre for wanting to keep boozing after he had already confronted her about her excessive alcohol consumption. Andre misunderstood Danny's words as a request to take her out of town and inquired where she wanted to go. She replied that another drink would help her clink fiercely. Later, Andre said that he had awful news. Bill and Ashley ran off together? Danny giggled, but the bartender cut them both off. Danny exclaimed that her family built the club and that the regulations did not apply to her, which Andre said was what drew him to her in the first place. After she sniggered that she couldn't recall what she had found appealing in Andre, she began kissing his neck. Andre stated they couldn't be doing that in public, which reminded Danny of the trip she had become more interested in. When Danny requested a car to take her home so she could pack, Andre boasted that he usually kept a packed suitcase on hand and suggested that they simply go straight to the airport. Danny agreed, and the two drunks made their way out of the country club. Tomás brought a blindfolded Kat to a hotel room and surprised her with a romantic night of roses and food. When Tomás removed the cloth, Kat saw the bed and grimaced. He noticed her displeasure, but she rallied and told her partner that she appreciated how much bother he had gone to help her. They kissed, and Tomás played music she liked while pouring her favorite champagne, knowing her family's high standards. After Kat chuckled that Tomás saw her as a challenge, Tomás recalled the first time he lay eyes on her and acknowledged that he was scared to say hello to her, expecting her to reject him. Kat was delighted he took the chance, and in response to Tomás' question, he mentioned that Chelsea had been doing much better since Anita had persuaded her to reconsider her future plans. She showed him a promotional video of her and Chelsea announcing their internet launch for Tuesday, September 29th. September 29th is a Monday. Tomás was pleased for the cousins, but Kat was still concerned about how Allison had shattered Chelsea's confidence. Tomás brought in dinner and then gave Kat with a fortune cookie on a silver dish which read, "Just ask." Knowing that Tomás would give her whatever she desired, she suggested they dance. The movement was shortly followed by a kiss, which led to sitting on the bed and removing one's clothes. Tomás later asked to sullen Kat why they didn't make love, but she refused to discuss it. That didn't work for Tomás, who said sex wasn't fun for him until it was fun for her. Kat stormed out of bed and snapped, "So sorry I ruined your fun." Kat didn't think she compared to the more experienced women Tomás had been with, and she was protective despite Tomás's earnest attempt to mend the distance between them. "Maybe you're the one who's not that great in bed," Kat eventually yelled, upsetting Tomás. Though Kat immediately apologized for what she'd said, she utilized an app to get a ride home rather than letting Tomás drive her. "Suit yourself," Tomás answered coldly, leaving Kat alone in her hotel room.